Ram Rama Hare Hare.
Jayo Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe.
Jayo Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe.
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra.
Rajadiraja Govinda Rajadiraja Govinda.
Jaya Rajadiraja Govinda Rajadiraja Govinda.
Jai Gurudev Prabhupada Gurudev Jai Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Prabhupada Gurudev Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Om Vishnupad Pramam Saprivirajakacarya Stottar Shata Shri Srimati Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text number 34. Bhavayati Esha Satvena Bhavayatyesha Satvena Lokan Vai Lokabhavanaha Lokan Vai Lokabhavanaha Leelavatara Anurataha Leelavatara Deva Tiryan Naradishu Deva Tiryan Naradishu Bhavayatyesha Satvena Lokan Vai Lokabhavanaha. Synonyms: Bhavayati, maintains. Eshaha, Tatvena, in the mode of goodness. Lokan, all over the universe. Vai, generally. Lokabhavanaha, the master of all the universes. Leela, pastimes. Avatara, incarnation. Anurataha, assuming the role. Deva, the demigods. Tiryak, Nara Adishu, in the midst of human beings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thus, the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. Please repeat this translation. Thus the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men, and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. Prabhupada. There are innumerable material universes, and in each and every universe there are innumerable planets inhabited by different grades of living entities. The Lord Vishnu incarnates himself in each and every one of them and in each and every type of living society. He manifests his transcendental pastimes amongst them just to create the desire to go back to Godhead. The Lord does not change his original transcendental position, but he appears manifested according to the particular time, circumstances, and society. But the forgetful living beings under the influence of the material modes have no information. The Lord therefore comes to propagate the message of the kingdom of God, either personally as an incarnation or through his bona fide representative as the good Son of God. Such incarnations or sons of God are not making propaganda for going back to Godhead only within the human society. Their work is going on in all types of societies amongst demigods and those other than human beings. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kam karoti vacharam pangulangayatu nitkripadam shivakashra. Hare Krishna. So we are in the last verse of the second chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So verse number is also interesting. 1.2.34. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second chapter basically of the divine and divinity and divine service. So that's how the title is entitled. And as we know, Srimad Bhagavatam basically talks of 10 topics predominantly. Mentioned that Bhagavatam is actually Amala Puranam. Its entire Bhagavatam is in the form of questions and answers. Just like Bhagavad Gita is in the form of questions and answers. Arjuna is asking questions and then Krishna is replying to all those questions of Arjuna. So similarly, this Bhagavatam also is a conversation, multiple levels of conversations are there. Actually, it is the discussion between Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Who is Parikshit Maharaj? He happened to be the descendants of the Kuru dynasty. And then he was the grandson of Arjuna, right? Pandavas. And Abhimanyu was his father. And then Parikshit Maharaj, he actually was supposed to die in his mother's womb itself, Uttara, because Ashwatthama sent the Brahmastra weapon to kill the last hope of the Pandavas and the entire Kuru dynasty. But somehow actually Uttara runs to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna when he was just about to leave back to Dwaraka, and then Krishna saves her as well as Parikshit Maharaj. Had this darshan of the Lord, And since then, he is looking for that person whom he had seen in mother's womb, whether this is the same person I'm missing. So he is examining everybody who he comes across, whether this is the same person which I had darshan in my mother's womb. So that is why his name is Parikshita. So Parikshit Maharaj, takes over the reins of ruling the entire Kuru dynasty, which is the entire planet Earth. He becomes the emperor of the whole world. And then in the later chapters, we will see how the situation is created by the Supreme Lord, by the Supreme, that is, will of providence, to speak this Srimad Bhagavatam. This knowledge always existed, but just like Bhagavad Gita, was spoken to Arjuna, because as the material world, progresses, Kali Yuga progresses, whatever knowledge is there existing, slowly it gets deteriorated and finally it vanquishes. So Krishna's purpose is, one of the purposes is to re-establish. So Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushratam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Lord himself comes. In today's purport also Prabhupada is saying that the Lord therefore comes down to propagate the message of the kingdom of God, either personally as an incarnation or through his bona fide representative as the good Son of God. So basically, Lord can appear himself, which is known as incarnation, or Lord can empower somebody and through his representative he can send to the material world to establish dharma, re-establish dharma. So that's how Parikshit Maharaj was put in the situation such that this Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam could be spoken again. So this first level of discussion is Parikshit Maharaj happens to get cursed and die within 7 days by an inexperienced Brahmana boy called Shringi, and then he comes across, so he decides that what is to be done now. He meets a lot of sages, a lot of rishis, and not everyone had the same opinion, but then he was in confusion. So then somehow he comes to come there, and then very clearly he actually mentions that because Parikshit Maharaj asked questions. What is the duty of a person? Sutta Goswami, and then Sutta Goswami also was Goswami, and then Sutta Goswami, Naimisharanya, they were actually performing a 1,000-year fire sacrifice, and then Sutta Goswami also the sages of Naimisharanya put 6 questions predominantly to Sutta Goswami. And if you see the questions put by Sutta Goswami, by the sages of Naimisharanya to the Sutta Goswami, to Shukadeva Goswami, there are a lot of similarities. But more specifically, Parikshit Maharaj was about to die in next 7 days. So his questions were very, very specific. What is the duty of a person who is about to die? So one of the questions also was, why Supreme Lord incarnates in this material? And what are his different incarnations? So in today's verse it is said that Bhavayati Esha Satvena. Bhavayati means Prabhupada translates it as maintains. So the Supreme Lord, the Lord of the universes, maintains all the planets. So Loka Bhavana means the master of all the universe, who maintains Bhavayati. And Esha Satvena, whom are they protecting? They are protecting devotees. Just like Lord said in the Bhagavad Gita also, he protects devotees. Sattva Guna, so one who is in the mode of pure goodness, Prabhupada says in the translation. And Lokan Vai Loka Bhavanaha Leelavataranu Leelavatara means the incarnation. So among devas, the devatas, the demigods, the Tiryan, the lower animals, and also amongst Nara Adi, amongst the human beings and other species. So Prabhupada is translating, thus the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. And then Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, Lord Vishnu incarnates himself in each and every one of them and in each and every type of living society. He manifests his transcendental pastimes amongst them just to create the desire to go back to Godhead. So this is the purpose. This is the purpose of Lord's incarnation. What is the main purpose of Lord's incarnation? Because in the material world, the living entities are put in this material world for what? For trying to experience happiness, independent of Krishna. But very long, because of the conditioning nature of this material world, we have been in this material world, we have completely forgotten that we have come here temporarily and one day I have to go back to my original home, original spiritual world. So to remind that Lord incarnates in multiple forms, just like it is said here, yes. In the Brahma Samhita, quotes many times, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. So Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam means there are unlimited incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada gives examples of, just like in the shore of the ocean, the waves are continuously coming. Nobody can count, isn't it? So similarly, Lord's incarnations also cannot be counted, how many are in number. So continuously the incarnations are happening because there are unlimited universes and unlimited planets in all those universes. Continuously Lord is appearing, continuously Lord is actually there. So in one place, it is Kunti Maharani also offers these prayers. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bhi shravanasmarechana. So Kunti Maharani is giving a hint here. What is the purpose of Lord's incarnation? So she is saying, yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping and so on. Shravarani, Karishan iti kechana. To rejuvenate specifically the aspects of devotional service like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedam. Just like we had morning program. So if it consists of all the angas of Navavida Bhakti, hearing, chanting, and then worshipping the deity, supreme prayers, and then Pada Sevanam, completely surrendering. So with all the aspects, because human beings keep forgetting things in this material world, Lord actually incarnates again and again or sends his pure devotee, spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada to remind to us that, these are the as performing which we can go to our original spiritual world. So similarly, in another place, Drona and Dhara. So basically, Vasudeva and Devaki in their previous life, they performed severe austerities for having Lord Krishna as their son. So when, okay, what do you want now? So then they say that they offer a very beautiful set of prayers. One of them is Jatayor Nau Mahadeve Bhuvi Vishweshware Harau Bhakti Syat Paramaloke Yayajo Durgatim Taret. Please permit us to be born on the planet Earth so that after our appearance the ultimate thing is liberation, getting out of this birth, death, cycle of samsara. So liberation is the ultimate thing for Mayavadis. But whereas for pure devotees, it is, they are asking to be born again in this material world. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavata Bhakti Rahetu Kitui. I want to incarnate, I want to again, come to this material world so that Lord will incarnate, Lord will come here to re-establish, and when He comes, we can actually be part of His transcendental activities, transcendental pastimes. So that's how they prayed it. And then, yes, in the Tara Stotra also by Srila Jayadev Goswami, predominantly the 10 incarnations are explained. And next chapter is basically, third chapter, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So 21 different incarnations. Parikshit Maharaj actually gets this information. And then ultimately, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam is what is the Krishna says. Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj that although there are innumerable incarnations, Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. So similarly, in today's purport, Prabhupada is also mentioning that not only in human beings, but in different species, just like in the fish species, 4 lakh species, and one of them is, fish incarnation, Matsya Avatara. So similarly, Kurma Avatara, Lord appear as tortoise, and then Varaha, transcendental boar incarnation, because to lift the earth, in the nether regions it had fallen in water, and then Lord had to take the form of boar and lift the mother earth. And then we know how Narsimhadev appeared, half lion, half man incarnation, to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. And similarly, not only in these kind of species, but also as in human beings, in the human species, Brahmana, and then Parashurama was there, Balarama was there, and then ultimately incarnations like Buddha Kalki. Kalki is also yet to come. And then Krishna, Buddha. So they were actually in the human form. So now, Leelavatarunnato, so Lord is telling here, Devatiryan Naradishu. So Lord does not appear only in human species, not only in animal species, in all kinds of species. For what purpose? For Loka Bhavanaha, to maintain this material creation, to maintain this material world. So that was one aspect of today's verse. And then if you see the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, Atra Sargo Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Utayaha Manvantara Ishanukatha Niroshrayah. So these 10 topics, predominantly what Srimad Bhagavatam speaks. Atra Sarga. Sarga means creation. The Lord Brahma is actually secondary creator. Lord Mahavishnu is the original creator, and all the ingredients are also actually created by the Supreme Lord. And then Visarga, the secondary creation, is done by Lord Brahma. And then Sthanam, positioning of living entities. So as per their previous activities, as per the karma, laws of karma, which living entity should be there in which planetary system, which planet, which universe. So all that, placement happens in the phase of sthanam. And then next, nurturing, maintaining, protecting the living entities. So the Supreme Lord's one of the most important activities, just like there is a house, he is the owner. His responsibility is to maintain that house. So he is supposed to maintain the family. He is supposed to be the head of the family. So similarly, this creation is created by the Supreme Lord. He is the primary creator, and it is his responsibility to maintain. So just like in the Gunavataras, Lord, Supreme Lord expands as Brahma, Vishnu and Lord Shiva. So each has got specific purposes. So the work of maintenance is handled by Vishnu, which is the most complicated. Creation is okay, one-time job. Destruction is one-time job. But maintenance is, continuous activity, right? So that is taken by Lord Vishnu. It's very... So Poshanam, just like today's verse also it is said, that Loka Bhavana, because they are of unlimited universes, that is also one of his predominant activities. And then Utaya, and what kind of based on the modes of nature, based on the type of association the living entities come with, they are inspired to perform activities. That also has been described. And then Manvantara means different Manus, which are those different Manus appear in different days of Brahma, and they have pastimes with the Lord. And then Ishanukata, this Srimad Bhagavatam, is entire thing is about description of Supreme Lords, various Ishanukatas. It's like there are different types of incarnations, different types of avatars, like Leela avatars in today's verse, it is described. And one of the types of avatars is Purusha avatars. So different Mahavishnus, like Kshirodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Karanodakshai Vishnu is Mahavishnu. So they have specific roles. So based on Guna, who is in charge of Sattva Guna, is Lord Vishnu. The mode of Rajoguna is handled by Lord Brahma, and Tamaguna is handled by Lord Shiva. So they are also actually predominantly incarnations of the Supreme Lord. And then you have Shaktavesha avatars, different avatars. So now Shaktavesha avatars, somebody may be empowered. Jiva, the Jivas can be empowered as Shaktavesha avatars, or Lord himself can, incarnate as Shaktavesha avatars for a specific task, like Prithu Maharaj is Shaktavesha avatara. Whereas, Narad Muni is also considered as Shaktavesha avatara, but he is a Jiva. So similarly, like this, different grades of avatars are there, like Manvantara, specific to that particular Manvantara avatars. So, and there are Yuga avatars also. Yuga avatara means that particular Yuga, they are the predominating deity. Like in Satya Yuga, the predominating deity is Lord Vishnu. And then, Treta Yuga, who was the incarnation? Yuga avatara? Lord Ramachandra. Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna. Although Lord Krishna actually comes as Yuga avatara, he is the same original personality of God. That is what next chapter says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Although, he only comes in one day of Brahma once. So, which is, tremendously long period. And Sahasra Yuga Parvantam, this 1,000 cycles of yugas, of 1,000 Mahayugas is actually the age is so great. One day of Brahma, it's very, very difficult for us to calculate. So, how much is the duration of Kali Yuga? 4,32,000 years. So, the double of it is Dwapara Yugas. And into 3 is Treta Yugas. Into 4 is Satya Yuga. You sum up everything, so 4.32 million of years. So, that kind of long duration. But for Krishna's perspective, for Krishna's Mahavishnu's perspective, so when he exhales, unlimited universes come out, and when he inhales, actually all the universes go inside his body. So, and then in Kali Yuga, so what is that particular Yuga avatara? Is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Tara. Triyugavata Sattvam. There are a lot of references, like in Vishnu Puran, and then Mahabharata, this Vishnu Sahasranam also it comes. Suvarna Varno Hemango. So golden complexion. The Lord appears as in golden complexion. But what is his predominant activity? His predominant activity is to kill the demonic tendency, not directly kill the person, the demons. So it is said here that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never openly declared he is the Supreme Lord. Although in some specific pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita we come across that, exhibited his position as Krishna himself or specific incarnations of Krishna. But in open, he never declared himself as the Supreme Lord. He always projected him as the devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So whereas we know that he is actually same Krishna himself. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, actually there are a lot of pastimes. One of the interesting pastimes is how he gives this particular Hare Krishna Mahamantra, holy name, because that is the Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma means that Dharma which is meant for everybody. That is one criteria. Second thing is, when we follow that, it has got maximum efficacy. So that is the criteria which can be easily performed, and at the same time the result is also very, very great. And it can be performed by everyone, not limited to a particular sect of people or certain class of people, nothing. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this it is said that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, this particular pastime, when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, so about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, आपनी करीते आनी प्रेम bhakti ratna bhandara kuli dila se ratna vyatana. So it is said here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared in this material world, he brought along with him treasure of love of Krishna. Of course, he brought Hare Krishna Mahamantra with him, although it was always existing, the Vedic scriptures. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. This Hare Krishna Sankirtan movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually bought along with his associates, and he bought that treasure and he distributed it freely to everybody and anybody who came across. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also instructed us, right? Prativite achayate nagaradigram sarvatra pracharo hoive morana. So he said that my holy name, my name will be spread across the globe. So then when he was distributing this storehouse of love of God, and which is very, very valuable, which cannot be estimated how costly that item is, and without seeing any qualification, any requisite, he was distributing to anybody and everybody munificently. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing his different pastimes, one particular sect of people, Prabhupada again quotes, because Mayavadis, they are reluctant to chant even Krishna's name. So somehow, Lord, because they are offenders, Mayavadi Bhashya Shuline Hoy Sarvanash, Krishne Aparadi. So Mayavadis are said to be Krishner Aparadi. So that is why Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra does not sometimes manifest on their tongues. So but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so great that forcefully also he wanted to give this invaluable jewel even to Mayavadis. So then the headquarters of Mayavadi philosophy was Varanasi, even in today to some extent, but those days it was the center hub for all the Mayavadis. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decides, he plans, he orchestrates a divine plan to live all these Mayavadi sannyasis also. So then one day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, so he used to travel, he was a sannyasi, he had accepted sannyas, and then different people used to come and invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and receive prasadam at their home. So similarly one day when this particular Brahmana came to know that there was a very big the sannyasis had come, and then if somehow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives them mercy is what this Brahmana desires, and then this devotee invites Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also to come and join that particular group. So initially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disagrees, but then he thinks this is a very good, although externally he himself is the orchestrator of every leela. So initially although he said no, but then later he accepts that this invitation, and then he is going to come there. Particular day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits that place where this conference big sannyasis were there, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes there, and he actually at the entrance there was a place where all these sannyasis and people used to wash their feet, and then they used to walk inside. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also goes to that place, and immediately after washing his feet, he just next to that, just besides that washing area, he sits. And by seeing this, because he was so beautiful, and then he Prakashananda Saraswati comes, he holds him by hand and takes him inside. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting there, because he is a Supreme Lord, he started exhibiting his effulgence. So Krishna is the original cause of even Brahman effulgence. So the same Self-Lord, same Supreme Lord Krishna, who had manifested as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now, this effulgence. And then this effulgence was so great that it is said that Koti Surya, it was like, crores of sun. One sun itself is so bright. Now summer is coming. We are unable to tolerate the heat and the brightness of one sun. What would happen if thousands and lakhs and crores of suns would simultaneously arise? So that was the kind of effulgence they felt, and they realized that this sannyasi is no ordinary sannyasi. So then they start asking questions, because you are also sannyasi, we are sannyasis. We spend our time always in studying Vedanta, and then we get fixed up in knowledge, and then we get convinced very nicely that Brahman effulgence is ultimate. So like that they started discussing. But why are you not studying? Actually, yes, we also study. We have Vedic scriptures, we have Bhagavad Gita, we have Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the Sarva Vedanta Saram. So it's the essence of all the Vedic scriptures, and it is actually natural commentary, Bhashya. See, all these Vedic literatures are Srila Vyasadeva. So Vedavyas, when at the time of his maturity, the ultimate thing what he compiled was Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in spite of compiling all the Vedas, all the four Vedas, and then Upanishads, Puranas, 18 Puranas, Mahapuranas, 108 Upanishads, and then Brahma Sutras, Vedanta Sutras, he was not satisfied. So he asks his guru, Narad Muni. So then Narad Muni actually comes, and then he says, because you have not sufficiently described the pastimes, activities of the Supreme Lord, that is why you have this despondency. We will see that in the future. Then you should compile, although in Mahabharata, little bit of glories of Supreme Lord, in Ramayana, Supreme Lord Ramachandra's activities were glorified, but exclusively you have to glorify the Supreme Lord. And also he chastises that in other Vedic scriptures you have ultimate thing. So people of this age, Kali Yuga, they may take whatever that suits them. They may Ardha Kukkuti Nyaya. Prabhupada also gives example. Whatever is favorable, I accept, and whatever I do not like, or which is difficult to follow, I reject. No. So Vedic scriptures should be accepted in total. So that is why there should not be any confusion. So you compile such literature where exclusively Supreme Lord has been glorified, and what is the ultimate aim of life, ultimate goal of life, what is the position of bhakti, that has to be exclusively and extensively described. So this is given by Narad Muni to his disciple Vyasadeva. And when Vyasadeva had compiled Yayatma Suprasidati, not only he became very, very satisfied, who came in touch with Srimad Bhagavatam, they also actually became satisfied. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presents. And then Bhagavad Gita also says, Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krit vedavit evachaham. So after studying all the Vedic scriptures, refutations to, because he was, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Supreme Lord himself, the Yugavatara, the purpose of glorification of the Supreme Lord specifically through his holy names. And then they ask forgiveness from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then ultimately they also accept this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the Yuga mantra that specifically given for this particular yuga. And the Yuga Dharma of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is beneficial for everybody. The sutras, Upanishads may not be accessible to everybody in this age of Kali. So for everybody, easiest process is to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So like that, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to give this mercy of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, of Harinam Sankirtan, to even people like Mayavadis. So that is why it is said that Leela Avatarunato. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he was Yuga Avatara, he performed various Leelas just to convince people, just to remind people about the principles of devotional service. So that is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, he writes one very beautiful poem devotees of Lord Krishna, Vishnu, we all have to be united also in our goal, in our specific duty to pursue the path of devotional service. Otherwise, for small instances, because of the influence of Kali and material modes of nature, for small things, there will be quarrel, there will be hypocrisy, there will be fight. Just like the other day, the newspaper, the article was there, and there was some, just like we saw recently Kumbh Mela, right? How many total number of people visited? Around more than 65 crores of people visited. But still hardly any quarrel happens there. Because the goal was very specific. People wanted to take this association advantage and take a dip and take association of sadhus, saints there, and hear Krishna Katha, participate in different activities, prasadam, like that. So when this particular some football match, something was happening, although because their goal was not to advance in spiritual life, devotional service, or to benefit for someone else. Everybody had come to satisfy their own selfish needs. Small something, somebody was saying, no, I want to. Because of such, if it was totally, if the stadium was divided, that one part supporting this particular team would sit this side, and another team which would support other team would sit this side. So that's not possible. So there will be some people who would support one particular team would be sitting here. Next team will be, somebody who is supporting the opposite team. So like that, next to each other, two people were sitting, and they started shouting, because they are supporting this particular team. And this person got irritated. Why are you supporting? So like that. So then such a small instance, and then it got into a fight, and they were about to kill themselves. And to supporting that person, some group of people joined, and supporting this person, more people joined. So like that, it became a big mess, and they had to, stop the game for a while, and then it became a big issue, and then somehow these two people were taken out of the stadium. So like that. So for small things, so big fights can happen. So many nations, lot of egos. We see wars keep happening. Mainly, it's not that some piece of land. If some 1 square kilometer land, if they get, they can achieve big things. Nothing like that. So they have enough resources, but it's all actually on a level of false ego. They want to show their dominance. They want to show their power. They want to show their controlling tendency. They want to overpower some other nation. So because of these issues, today's political leaders are not in Kali Yuga. Internally it's happening, externally it's happening, and whichever news channel you switch on, whichever newspaper, everywhere, this negative are actually getting highlighted. So to come out of this influence, what we should do? Kali Yuga Pavana, Kali Bhaya Nashana, Shri Shachinana Gao He. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is revealing the secret here. If you want to be rid of the influence of dog-like personality of Kali Kukkura, he is addressed as Kali, because if you see, if some dogs are put together, so dogs will start fighting, right? So everybody has their own sense gratificatory plans. Moment that